Okay. Are things working? Let's find out. Receiving your content. Fantastic. Okay. So, welcome to episode 2, I guess, of Molithenism. This is my partner. This is Mariah. I'm still the same person. I never introduced myself, and I never will. Just kidding. I talk in third person a lot.
But I haven't introduced myself.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Mariah.
Boom.
Best friend.
Best friend, partner, lover,
Girlfriend.
We're going to talk about mermaids, and we're going to do this one together. So Mariah's going to write down any questions that she has.
I do actually have a lot of questions.
So she's going to write them down as I explain. I'm going to go through the whole process of how mermaids are still amongst us, how they formed, kind of deal, and then Mariah's going to ask some questions, and then maybe we'll make out. You just got to stay tuned. You just got to watch.
Who knows what's going to happen.
You just got to watch. So, essentially, mermaids, most of the information, I don't know if anybody ever saw The Body Found, the Animal Planet Nat Geo movie that came out back in 2012. It was incredible, and it was all 100% factual, and they actually pulled it because it was the truth, and they couldn't have people knowing the truth. So they forced all of the filmmakers to release statements that they made it up. And all of the evidence and the footage and all of the videos and everything that they had to say it was fake, but it wasn't. And if you believe it's fake, well, then you probably don't believe in aliens either, and then you're just ignorant, and then, like, why are you here?
Aliens are fucking real.
Aliens are fucking real.
Okay,
wait, where's the list of topics? I'm sorry, I stabbed you with a pencil.
You guys saw that, right?
Did you see that? Can you, I can be expedited.
And I'm doing her a favor. I'm packing her a beautiful bowl right now.
Tobacco. We love tobacco. Okay, I remember now that I ripped out the page that I'm looking for. Alright, I gotta remember to tell you guys about aliens. Totally.
So it's like aliens / mermaids?
I guess we could talk about aliens too a little bit, but I gotta do some more research on it. We can do intro to aliens during our mermaid video. Now, Mermaid, The Body Found, essentially what they were saying was that, well, hang on, Mariah, I need you to hand me that picture out of the printer.
Yes.
There should be 2 of them. Okay, so this is what the Earth looked like a long time ago. So we got the Jurassic. That's when the dinosaurs were. Pangea, the original Pangea. I'm trying. 250 million years ago. And then you can see it start to separate. 65 million years ago. This was the end of the dinosaurs right here. Now we're mostly continental. Jurassic, peak of the dinosaurs right here. And then our globe as we know it today, which is still not fucking flat. It's not flat. Mariah?
So imagine literally from all this time, like literally imagine how the world's gonna look in a couple more million years.
We'll get to that too. No, so what happened during Pangea? The tectonic plates started shifting and things started moving around. See, separation. And when they did that, all human life forms were congregated right here. So as we were on our evolutionary path, like I said, Darwin is life. I should probably have printed out the Darwin chart so I could know exactly. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. We're still basically apes. This was like 200 million years ago, and we were all centrally located right here. Now the tectonic plates started shifting. So when it started dividing over here, now half the population went towards the water, and the other half of the population went towards the jungle.
I just want to show you guys my cookies later. It's badass. Sorry.
Let's see. I'll figure this out one of these days. So, exactly. So, half of what was going to be Homo sapiens went into the water, and the other half of what is now Homo sapiens went further into the jungle, where they then later on moved further north. We developed white skin. Cheers. Now, no one was white until about 50 to 70,000 years ago. We were all so centrally located to the equator that we needed the extra melanin in our skin so as to not get sunburnt and die and whatever. And then we moved north and south and became pussies and got this lily white skin and etc. So back when they both split, the population that went in towards the jungle went on to be Homo sapiens as we know it today. And the ones that went towards the ocean, they were eating a lot of the crustaceans and shrimps and little creatures that live by the rocks, which have a lot of amino acids. So their brain development actually furthered, which is, they still say that the other half of the population was doing that too, which is why we have our brains as we do. But the part we're talking about, the ones that later became what we know as mermaids, they, instead of leaving the ocean shores, went further and further in. And over, millions of years, they developed gills and webbed fingers, and they look mostly like this. So they have the humanoid type arms and face, but you notice that they don't actually have any hair. These aren't sweet cornrows, they're gills. There would be no evolutionary necessity for them to have hair, which reminds me that we need to talk about insects.
So how long do
Wait, write it down.
I did.
Oh, wait, hang on. Wait.
Okay.
I'm going to ramble through. Don't worry. I love you so much.
I love you.
So,
I'll say my questions.
They also developed tools. Now, in the Mermaid, the Body Found, the Animal Planet documentary, they showed us some of the tools that they had, which looked a lot like, imagine a reed with, like, an arrowhead rock. Like, we know a lot of early, Homo sapiens would sharpen rocks with, attached to an underwater reed, essentially making a spear. And they have found carcasses of sharks and, well, not dolphins because you can't eat dolphins, but tuna and yellowtail and swordfish with spears in them. And if you're telling me that a mackerel is out there making fucking spears, well, I want to meet that mackerel, okay? That's some Chinese folklore bullshit right there. Mermaids, telling you. Now, imagine 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 12,000, 200 million years ago, they had the open territory of the ocean. Even to this day, we've only explored about 7 to 12% of our oceans. We still have no idea what's going on down there. They've come to realize that they would be hunted and dissected and, I'm
gonna see a mermaid before I die.
So, of course they're going into hiding. They're not going to just openly be swimming around. And if for some reason a scuba diver or anything was to stumble across a pod, because they travel in pods, they're families of mermaids, of course, they're going to scatter, and this guy's going to be like, oh, that looked like some weird fish. Like, no one's going to believe it. No one's going to believe, even if he comes up to the surface and is like, hey guys, I saw a fucking mermaid, no one's going to believe him. So, essentially,
this is Blaze, by the way.
This is Blaze.
She got him for me. He's my baby.
Essentially, that's pretty much it about mermaids. We split from, here, we'll do it over again. From Pangea, we all lived right here. Tectonic plates. Ooh, almost knocked over the bong. Started shifting.
That's crazy.
Half the humans went into the water, half of them went onto land. Continued to diverse to what we now know as one of the most fucked up, racist, piece of shit global communities I've ever seen in my goddamn existence. And I have experienced a lot of existence. And this is some bullshit. And why don't we have flying cars yet? I can make a flying car.
And you know what? This is why I have anxiety, and this is why I smoke weed.
Essentially, humans are 75% water, and cucumbers are 95% water, so we're basically just cucumbers with anxiety.
Yeah, I literally am a cucumber with anxiety.
I'm more of a pickle because I've been brined. Oh, dirty jokes. Anyway, there's one other thing I wanted to tell you guys about mermaids, and it's a Tibetan, I want to say. Well, they're called the sea nomad children. They're Moken. I gotta re-look at where they're from. Thailand. Yeah, Thailand. Oh, wrong tab. Oh no, these are all the wrong tab. Thailand. They're Moken children, and they can actually dilate their eyes to fully be able to see completely clearly underwater. I wrote down a thing. To see clearly above land, you need to be able to refract light that enters the eye onto the retina. Retina sits at the back of the eye. You can pop that. It's fun. Which converts light signals into electrical signals. And no one cares. And light is refracted when it enters human eye because the outer cornea contains water, which makes it slightly denser than the air outside the eye. Right. The internal lens refracts the light even further, which is why when it's underwater, it makes everything blurrier because the outer cornea contains water and it's more dense, which we just read. Now, the pupil size apparently was easy to measure. They revealed that they can constrict their pupils to the maximum known limit of human performance. So they can literally expand their pupils as far as the human pupil can go so they can see underwater. Now, the only reason that they would be able to do that is because somewhere along the lines, evolutionary, their ancestors were about to transition into mermaids but got scared and went back on land. And I think that's all I have to ramble about. Mariah, questions?
Yes, I do actually have some pretty good questions.
I'm ready.
Okay. So how long do mermaids actually, live? Do we know that?
Well, we don't have any lifespans because we've only ever found, 2 carcasses of mermaids. And, of course, the government's got that shit on lock, so, no way would we know.
They don't tell us.
But I would estimate, so if we look up...
Of course, the government. Of course.
Well, of course, the government.
We don't get to know shit.
So the human lifespan is up to now 105 years. So let's look up a gorilla.
Gorilla? Mermaid?
35 to 40 years. No, somewhere along the way. Humans are about 100 plus years. And we're also closely related to chimpanzees. And bananas. We actually share a lot of DNA with bananas.
I love bananas.
Bananas are about 40 years. Human DNA.
I literally want a banana milkshake right now from Zorba's.
Ooh, that would be bomb. And, bananas have a very short lifespan. So, yeah, bonobos and chimpanzees, which is what I looked up. Those 35 to 40 years. And humans are 100 plus. So, aquatic animals, let's see. What's an average? Mermaids I would equate to be mostly similar to a dolphin. Dolphin lifespan. Oh, okay, killer whales only 30 years. What about... Okay, dolphins are between 40 and 60.
You should just search mermaid citizen.
Alright, let's see what Google has to say.
Google has, pretty reliable information these days. Luckily.
300 years, according to The Little Mermaid. Well, because, see, that's what I was kind of thinking, was that, even though our human DNA is closely related to, gorillas and chimpanzees on land, our human DNA isn't really close with any aquatic creatures that I know of.
Do you think that's true? Google says that when they die, they turn into sea foam and...
Oh. That's interesting.
Yeah, they have a lot of the same genes as we do. Which makes sense. They do look like humans with tails.
Essentially. This is called, I'm reading an article called Discovering Your Inner Fish. They studied 3,074 genes that were present as a single unambiguous copy in each of the fine genomes. Inner fish. The brain tissues. That's what I was saying with the amino acids.
Did you say that we found 2 mermaids have been discovered?
According to the documentary that was on Animal Planet,
I'm sure
there's been a lot more. I'm sure there's been a lot more. It's just a matter of who got to it first. And one of the...
Have they released real pictures of them?
It depends, because, they had to debunk the entire thing. So if you want, then no, none of the pictures are real. But...
So, where do you think mermaids are found?
I would assume that they're centrally located between South Africa and Africa. This is where I would guesstimate mermaids live. Because that's in a great proximity to the equator. There would be plenty of hunting grounds, and this is kind of a dangerous territory being that close to Japan. Because,
Japan.
Because Japan.
Yeah.
But this is also kind of a no man's land. This is where, between South Africa and Africa, that's where they estimate, like, the Bermuda Triangle is. It's a highly untraveled area of the ocean. Right there. Wait, right there. All in this nonsense. So I think, in theory, if you went far enough into the ocean and then dove deep enough, maybe you'd find one.
Oh, and I don't know if you guys know this, but a couple days ago was Bella's birthday, and it was fucking amazing.
It was my birthday, but I didn't die.
No, you have
to go full circle. You have to die on your birthday, and I didn't die this year.
Well, we were together and we had some close calls, but no, ultimately
there was a couple close calls, definitely a couple close calls, but
it was so worth it.
We made it out. Made it out. Now I urge you before I bring out episode 3, which in episode 3 I think we're gonna talk about some Greek mythology.
Ooh, yes.
Maybe we'll go over like Medusa and Persephone and why there's rain, why there's volcanoes. A lot of natural phenomenons we'll go over. It's Mariah approved, so that's what we'll do. And
Mariah approved. So
until then, keep on keeping on. Pick up trash. Don't smoke cigarettes, or do. I don't care.
I do. Don't do it. They're gross.
Hugs and drugs.
Hugs and drugs.
Signing off.